Welcome back, guys. Welcome to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays, my collection. Pulling some movies off the shelf to show you, to make some recommendations to you guys, and to maybe influence you on discovering an actor or director. That's basically my main goal with my videos, to kind of show some of the movies that have really made a mark on my life and what I've enjoyed for years and everything. So maybe if I can get you to discover a new director, an actor, genre of movie, then that makes me happy. So today I'm going to show you some movies that were mega blockbusters in the 70s. A movie from Brian De Palma, and some movies by the one, the only badass, Charles Bronson. So let's get right to it, guys. In the 1970s, there were some movies that were disaster blockbusters. People couldn't get enough of disaster films. Either it be earthquake, roller coaster, crazy animals attacking, just crazy things. But the one that kind of kicked it all off was 1972's the Poseidon Adventure. Oh my gosh. So anyways, this kicked off a whole string of disaster movies, and that can be you can thank Irwin Allen for that. He was a producer who worked in TV and movies, and he came up with the ideal of some disaster type movies. Get a bunch of stars, put them in a situation, and roll the cameras. And audiences agreed that, you know, they were great movies and stuff. And this is a great disc. It's loaded with special features and commentaries, documentaries, new and old on this. I've seen this movie a bunch of times. It's a lot of fun. This Blu-ray sounds great. You've got a surround sound system, pump it up and watch it on big screen. It's a lot of fun. Every time you see it, it's one of those rewatchable movies. You know, silly as it can be at times and stuff, but it's great. Gene Hackman, I believe, was nominated for an Oscar for this, I believe, or was it Shelley Winters is in it. I believe she was nominated, or she won for it. This was around the time that he made The French Connection, so he was, you know, came off of doing The French Connection and did this movie. So he was already, like, you know, he won an Oscar. He was, you know, he was hot on the list of stars back then. So basically, it's an ocean liner. They run into some technical problems. It basically, you know, ship's sinking. Everybody's freaking out. He plays like a kind of a priest who's kind of questioning life and God himself, and he basically needs something to reaffirm his faith in God. And what he does is he leads a group of people to safety, to rescue, and ultimately gives his own life for these people. So the Poseidon Adventure is a lot of fun. It's directed by Ronald Neame, which he did a lot of disaster type movies. But it's a great release. You should have it if you haven't, you know, if you don't own it. I recommend you get it. And next up is another Irwin Allen produced disaster flick, The Towering Inferno. This movie too is a lot of fun. With your turn your receivers up and your TV, it's a lot of big booms and sounds, and the picture's great on this disc. It sounds great, looks good. Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, two of the biggest stars in Hollywood at that time, teamed up, and they were kind of didn't really get along on the set. There's some behind-the-scenes footage where they're kind of laughing and stuff. But I've heard a lot of stories and read a lot of stories where they just, their egos could not fit in the room together. But they really don't interact until the end of the movie. So, but two of the biggest stars at the time, Steve McQueen, Paul Newman. It's got the classic, always classy, William Holden as the big shot, the boss of the company and the building. Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire is in the movie. Susan Blakely, Richard Chamberlain plays a real dirty, sneaky guy. Jennifer Jones, a classic actress from the 40s, is in it. Beautiful as ever. O.J. Simpson, Robert Vaughn, and Robert Wagner star in this. It's a great star-studded movie. Again, this disc loaded with special effects, audio commentaries. John Williams' score is really good, and it's also, gosh, I can't think of who directed it. Let me see here. John Gilliam directed it from a Sterling Silverplant story. It was actually a big book, and they adapted it. So, The Towering Inferno. It's a great disaster movie. So, let's move away from all that disaster, and let's focus on some butt-kicking action from the one and only Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson, king of the kick your butt man movie. This is a great 4-movie set on Blu-ray that has 4 movies on there. It's got the Valachi Papers, The Stone Killer, Breakout, and Hard Times. And all 4 of those are fun movies. All of them good movies, rewatchable. Highly recommend this. Some of the other people, Robert Duvall, Jill Ireland, his real-life wife, James Coburn, Martin Balsam, and yeah, a whole cast of cool people in it. But yeah, he really cleans up in this movie, on this disc. There's 4 movies that will entertain you for hours. Really love Charles Bronson. I mean, sometimes he's well known, but then again, he's almost forgotten. He was a hell of an actor, going all the way back to, I think, the late 40s. He started, and he's in a lot of good movies. And this is just a little sampling of some of the movies he turned out in the 70s and 80s. The 70s, he made a ton of movies, it seemed like. A lot of good ones. And here's 4 of them. So I highly recommend this disc. This is just a 4-movie collection of Charles Bronson. It's on Mill Creek Entertainment, released it. Teamed up with Columbia Pictures, and they released this back in 2018. So it should still be available out there. Highly recommend that, guys. Charles Bronson is the man with the plan. And finally, guys, we got a movie from Brian De Palma. I've done a couple episodes with Brian De Palma movies. Now here's a movie from, when was this? 2000? Let me check it. 2002 it came out. I'm talking about Femme Fatale. Rebecca Romaine Stamos, Antonio Banderas, and a snapper case with someone's name written on it. Snapper case. Anyways, Brian De Palma directed this movie, Femme Fatale, back in 2002. I don't remember it a lot. I remember buying this back in the day, and I grabbed it the other day because I had shown some other Brian De Palma movies, so I thought, what the hey, Femme Fatale. You don't really hear much about it. but it's a great movie. A lot of action. It's got kind of a twisted storyline. You know, the ever alluring Rebecca Romaine Stamos. She was married to John Stamos at the time. She couldn't be messed with. She was the lady, and she's got a lot of scenes where she's, you know, showing some skin in it, if you know what I mean. But anyway, it's got the great Antonio Banderas there to kind of keep things frosty and cool and kicking butt. But yeah, I recommend this. I recommend anything by Brian De Palma, actually, the good and the bad, because, you know, he's got a little, even in his worst movies, he's got a little flavor in there. You know, there's little whiffs of goodness in there. Whiffs, guys, whiffs. So I recommend this. This has some whiffs in it, and it's not Carrie, it's not Scarface. It's Femme Fatale, guys, and it's in a snapper case, and I don't know who this girl is. Antanesan? I got this at a record store, used, so somebody's name is written on here that had this before me. So anyways, guys, recommend these movies. Femme Fatale, the 4-picture collection, Charles Bronson, and 2 disaster movies, Tallest Inferno and Poseidon Adventure. Recommend all those. Guarantee you won't have a boring evening with those. So there you go. So guys, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified when I release a new video. And give me a comment and a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Give me some comments, guys. I'd love to hear from you. What your favorite movies are. What should I do next? Give me some ideas. Until next time, guys, I'm Mike, and I do thank you. I thank everyone who subscribes to me. I really appreciate you tuning in and watching my little YouTube episodes that I do. And just want to say thanks, and I'll see you next time, guys. Be cool, stay safe.